Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the One Meal Channel. If you're new here, people from around the world tune in to watch me destroy my house by kicking the trim away, and also make a massive pile of food for myself every single day because, like the channel says, I only eat one meal a day. And if you want to enjoy watching this video as much as I enjoy making this video, may I make a suggestion? Perhaps you should watch this video while you eat too, right? Boys cannot eat dinner without YouTube. Why don't I become your go-to YouTube channel? So, without further ado, let's get into the video. And hello, welcome back. So, we are in for a nice treat today, because we are once again doing chicken egg fried rice. But we're bringing back the rotisserie chicken, making it easy. No more of this raw chicken being cooked up. We're going to go back to our rotisserie chicken origin. I just cleaned up the rice maker, hence the long, loud sound. We're going to cook up some fresh rice. No day-old rice today. Now, I appreciate a lot of your comments on the previous videos. I had somebody call out that the amount of calories that I thought would be in half a cup of rice was actually a lot less than I had estimated. There was a commenter about a month ago that suggested that I switch over to refrigerating my rice before eating it, so that there'd be less of a spike to my GI and also less calories. And so I did do that, but I think it's only fair for me to clarify. When I said half a cup of rice, I meant half a cup of uncooked rice. So I don't know the exact measurements of how much rice expands after it's been cooked, but half a cup of uncooked rice, I was still wrong. It's not 500 calories, it's more like 300 calories. So I appreciate you checking in on that, kind of comforting me that I'm not, half of my calories that I get in a day aren't coming from my rice. But half a cup that we had yesterday is about 300 calories worth of rice. And today, well, we're going to do a full cup, which means about 600 calories of rice. But don't worry, I don't feel like I'm going to eat all of this today, especially because I just dumped a few greens into the sink myself. Anyway, I hope all of you have been doing really well. We have some Indian curry that we're going to make in the crock pot tomorrow. Try something new, get out of our comfort zone, get out of our standard mode of operation, making the same meal every single day, but still make it convenient to pick up and eat when we need to eat, because, you know, we live a very busy life. I am now quit one of my jobs, and I couldn't help myself. I ended up getting another second job, but they're both remote, which is nice. But I'm still going to be working like crazy. And with kind of my personal way of operating, whenever I eat, whether it's high in carbs, low in carbs, no carbs at all, super high protein, high fat, doesn't seem to matter for me. Whenever I eat, I get sleepy tired. Get very sleepy tired. Whether it's in the morning, afternoon, evening, or night, I get extremely sleepy tired. So I eat one meal a day, typically after I'm done with the bulk of my work. And today was, let me tell you, there was a lot of bulk to my work, which is why I'm not even getting around to making this video until around 7 o'clock at night. So I apologize for this coming out so late. But I've committed to 5 videos a week for all of you. And even though it seems like a lot of people are taking vacations, I told them I was going to do a crock pot meal. And I think people stopped tuning in to the videos because they knew they could just tune in at the end of the week and get a little bit more variety. But some of you longtime viewers who have been here since, oh, I don't know, the very beginning, like my first 50 subscribers, tune in every single day. I just want to let you know I appreciate that about you. And the new people as well. I appreciate you as well. All of you who are getting in here pre-1,000 subscribers are going to be some very special people. They're only going to be the first 1,000 subscribers once. And once we pass 1,000 subscribers, you'll never have that opportunity again. So get in while the stove is hot and be one of those first 1,000 subscribers. It's okay, we'll like all the people that come afterwards right there. But 1,000 subscribers is a big milestone because we will hit YouTube partnership. And I've been tracking the analytics. You need 1,000 subscribers and a bunch of watch time. And the amount of subscribers and watch time that we're getting are tracking perfectly, fine in line with each other. I think it's like 3,000 or 4,000 hours of watch time in a single year, and we are tracking perfectly to that. Let's see. I was thinking of some more changes in the content. Again, more ways to get variety. Some of you have heard me mention that maybe I might show you a little bit of a fishing video or fishing stream, because I have cooked with some fish in the past, and I do intend of cooking with fish in the future. But to be completely fair, the fishing season, the fishing season has opened up. It's past Memorial Day. It's been a whole week, and I have not gone fishing once. And I'm very disappointed, but I don't know the next opportunity I will get to go fishing. As much as I've been waiting for it and thinking about it and wanting to go like crazy, I seriously don't know the next opportunity I'll have to go. Maybe this weekend. But things are getting so busy, and that's good. I like busyness. Things are getting so dang busy. I have no idea what's going to happen. So for those of you who really want to see fishing, I know we got a good portion of guys and gals. A dude holding up a fish and smiling is not the most attractive thing. And dudes, you all know what fishing is like if you've gone fishing before. It's rainbow trout. It's nothing special. It's going to be on a lake or a small river, and it's just going to be a lot of standing around, drinking beer, and waiting for the fish to catch itself, more or less. So I think the cooking element of the fish is more entertaining than the actual fishing element itself. And for those of you who were around Christmas last year, you got to see the cooking element of that. That's probably one of the best meals that I've ever cooked and eaten on the channel, was those fried potatoes. I think it was in butter with garlic. And then the fish, and then what else did I have? I must have had something else with it. I think probably some vegetables, maybe some green beans, something like that. It might have just been fish and potatoes, I'm not sure. But that was probably the best meal that I've ever had on the channel that was cooked up. I love the chicken and dumplings. Chicken and dumplings are fantastic. I love the stew that we made the other day. That stew is really good. But there's something about just having a base protein that's fried up in a pan, some sliced potatoes fried up in a pan, and some green beans. I have had that meal almost every single evening as a kid, like as a teenager. I would play football. I would get done with football practice, shower, drive all the way home, which was about an hour. And by the time I got home, everyone would wait for me in order to get back. It'd be like 7 o'clock, around the same time that it is right now. And they would cook up just a sliced potatoes, protein, like a nice big fat slab of tuna. Fish was excellent, and then green beans over and over and over again. I never got tired of it. It was very nice, consistent dinner. And in the summertime, all the same. Bacon and eggs in the morning. Lived on a big farm, big piece of property. Apple trees, peach seed trees, plum trees. Green beans were grown right there on the farm. I mean, let's see, 40 acres. A lot of it was lumber, so we'd cut down the trees and sell it over to the sawmills as well. I mean, it was just really, really hard work. I mean, it was probably a 5-acre farm, maybe even more. Probably 5-acre farm and then an orchard. Probably 4-acre farm and then an orchard, and then 40 acres of timber. That's a lot of property to manage. Just me and one other guy, essentially, and then obviously all my friends that I could bring up there. And at the end of every workday, guess what? Big piece of protein, 1 potato, bunch of carbs, maybe some onions on the side like I'm doing right now, and then some green beans. So I would love to get back into something like that. It's an expensive way of living, but he had plenty of friends, he had plenty of family that would go out into the ocean, catch that tuna, and he'd bring it inside, can it, and keep it for a really long time. Can the green beans too. He probably had, I kid you not, I'm not screwing with you here, he probably had a whole acre of just green beans. Just rows upon rows upon rows upon rows of green beans. Probably 20 rows. The entire length, I don't know the exact measurements of an acre, but I'd estimate whatever the standard mode of measurement is. Just an extremely long row of green beans. Probably 15 to 20 rows wide, just green beans. No major machinery other than like a rototiller. You know, my point is no major machinery to pick the green beans. Had to go in there by hand, on your knees, weeding them out, watering them, making sure they didn't get flooded, making sure the fence is in good condition. Deer would come up and eat them. Then you get a deer tag, and then you'd have deer to eat, and then that would go along with your potatoes, and yeah. But he just had a massive cellar. Basically it was a cellar full of just hundreds of cans of green beans, hundreds of cans of jam from the apple or from the plums and the peaches. He would also dry them. Just imagine going out into your orchard and each tree gives you 100 gallons of apples. 100 gallons. I mean, what is that? That's like 200 liters, about. Let's just estimate here. 200. We got people from Canada and Greece and countries that don't measure by cheeseburgers and bald eagles like we do. Absolutely incredible way of living. Super hard on your body. The guy was a former hockey player. He was a complete different breed. He was in his 60s at the time. Just absolutely tough SOB, as his friends would call him. I love living that way at the time. I couldn't imagine myself living that way now. Living that way now would be absolutely brutal. I'm too antisocial, and I'm too good over the phone to commit to working and living that type of lifestyle. Essentially just to barely get by. But on the flip side, you have just the most amazing food, high quality, best tasting food, and you're in just absolutely great shape. Don't need to go to the gym once. You just head outside, cut down a tree. That's your heavy lifting for the day. And then, pick all of the weeds out of the garden. And that's your high rep, low weight type of weight training there. Gosh, I'm glad I had that experience though. Like I said, I wouldn't dream of going back to something like that. I like doing my gym and workout exercises and band work, when I want to, instead of when I have to. Well, I'm really glad that I had an experience like that. And it has permanently influenced my food desires and preferences up into this day. I love myself a good steak. I love myself a good piece of protein. Green beans. Never thought I liked green beans so much. Even asparagus. I didn't like asparagus that much as a kid. It was always like broiled. I thought the texture was gross. But as soon as it got put in the oven with some olive oil, ooh-wee. Ooh-wee. Little Rick and Morty reference right there. Hopefully you get it. Absolutely killer. So, hey, you know what? I miss these rotisserie chickens. Look how easy that is to break apart. Look how easy that is. No bones or anything like that. No way we're eating this whole chicken. So we're just gonna take the skin, because in a day the skin will get all soggy, and that's not cool. We'll take the skin, put that in here, and we'll take this fillet. I'm gonna break it apart, and we'll leave ourselves with a breast, another breast and a fillet, and then we'll be good. We'll be all good in the hood, as they say. No, nobody says that anymore. That's like a 90s thing. I barely lived through any of the 90s. It's not fair to call me a 90s kid. I'm barely a 90s kid at all. People are trying to tell me that I'm not Gen Z because I was born in the late 90s. It's like I'm absolutely Gen Z. I'm a really old Gen Z. I'm an elder Gen Z. You're gonna loop me in with the millennials? Just because I was born in the 90s? Not. I mean, don't look it up on Google. All right, if you don't know, I think most of my audience skews. It used to be mostly women actually, so now that we've got more subscribers, it's like 75% men, 25% women that watch. And I think the age group skews like 23 to 27 primarily, which is also happens to be my age. So I think it's majority 23 to 27 with an equal part like 18 to 23 and 27 to 35 that watch as well. So I think half 23 to 27, half people that are barely adults, half people that are like well into their 30s. That math didn't check out. I think you know what I'm trying to say there. I think you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to repeat myself another time. Please tell me that you understood what I was trying to say. You just gotta bracket in those last two demographics that I put in there at the end. 150% is too much. Anyway, so I'd be curious. Don't Google it. Don't look it up. Don't AI it. Don't do any of that. All right, Gen Z is like 1996 and up, right? 1996. That's not when I was born. I was born around that. I was born around that time. 20-something. But I do think it's 1996. It's not 2000, really. That is actually wild for me to think of, though. That people born in 2000 are freaking like 25. That's insane. That is insane. Oh, how times have changed. Gosh, if we knew where we were going to be just 10 years ago. Actually, I'll tell you a second story. When I was in high school, like early high school, this was like freshman, sophomore year, I remember exactly which class I was in. I was in like some sort of science class. And there was this really smart kid in front of me named Dallin. And he was tall, he was a really smart kid. He was a super nerd, but like he was cool and people liked him and things like that. He just like a cool, nerdy dude. And I was new to the school. I'd only like been around in that town for like a year or two. So most people didn't really know who I was. I can't remember how he learned who I was. But he just turned around to me in the middle of the class. In the middle of the class, teacher was teaching. And he just goes, "Hey, heard of this thing called Bitcoin?" I went, "No, I've never heard about this thing called Bitcoin." And if any of you have been to high school before, you know how it is in high school, right? Did you hear that Sandy dyed her hair? Hey, did you hear about this meme? Hey, did you hear, like you're constantly being inundated with like 15 dozen times a day with people going, "Hey, did you hear this? Do you know what this is? Hey, have you seen that?" Constantly. And so he turned around and he did that. And I thought nothing of it. And I said, "No, I've never heard of Bitcoin." He's like, it's like a currency, but it's like only on the internet. I was like, "That's cool, dude. That's whatever. That's cool." At this point, I don't even think like microtransactions in video games were a thing. I don't think that. I think it was like not. It was not even common knowledge to like normies that you could buy like cosmetics in video games. I don't think it was a thing where you could convert your real money into like V-Bucks for Fortnite and things like that. Certainly it wasn't. Fortnite wasn't even around at the time, or it was just coming out. But it's like there was no real money to digital type currency conversion. I don't even think that was a concept back then. And that was only like 10 years ago, a little bit more than 10 years ago, but just about 10 years ago. And I went, no, yeah, I don't know anything about Bitcoin. And this is the reason why I'm telling you the story is because of what he said after that. And he said, "I'm telling you right now, if you don't buy one Bitcoin this year, you're going to hate yourself for the rest of your life." I was like, whoa, I'm going to hate myself. Wow. Okay, dude. Yeah, where do I even buy something like this? He's like, just look it up on YouTube and figure it out and things like that. And I didn't. And I don't remember the exact date that conversation occurred, but Bitcoin was around $400 back then. It was around $400. So it hit 100 grand recently. It might even be, I don't check it every day, but because kind of the point is to leave it in there. But I don't know, you do the math of whatever 400, let's just say it was $500. That's 200x. 200x your money. That's pretty big, right? Imagine 200xing your money in 10 years. A little bit more than 10 years. 200x. By the way, that Dallin guy is freaking rich now. That Dallin guy is a multi-millionaire. And I'm never going to hear anything about him. That guy is untraceable, unreachable. He did the smart thing. He got the money and then he got the heck out. He knew people were going to come in from the woodworks wanting his money, wanting his cash. He got the heck out before anyone could take anything from him. And respect to that, because I mean, he's a young guy just like me. But I remember that, and from that point forth, well, I was in high school, so not from that point forth. Remembering that story, I listen to what everybody has to say about everything. I listen to what everybody has to say about everything. And you know what? It helps if you're a really smart, nerdy guy that people like. That is beneficial. I am just going to put all this rice in. I couldn't help it. But if people like that say that you should be putting your money in somewhere or doing a certain thing, I pay attention to it. And it's not like I have the money just to throw around. Not like I have extra money laying around to just throw everywhere. That's what I was trying to say, because I don't. But at least it gives some aspirations of what you could potentially work yourself up to. Dogecoin was the other one. I don't really have an entertaining way of explaining that story, but I remember Dogecoin when it went live on Coinbase for like the first time. I think it was like 2 days after it went live. I just happened to stumble across it. Well, oh, Dogecoin, the meme. I think Dogecoin was like 1/1000th of 1 cent right now. So you talk about 200xing your money with Bitcoin. I think Dogecoin is a couple of cents now. Maybe more. Anyway, just imagine every cent that it is 1,000x from when I saw it on Coinbase. Now, very few people knew that that was going to become what it's become, so I don't beat myself up over that. But it is interesting to think. It is interesting to think what it would be like to 5, 6, 7,000x your money. At the same time, I think it's absolutely ridiculous for you to put your entire retirement into Dogecoin. Imagine how that would turn out. Yeah, I've been saving my money. Got 450 grand in the bank. Putting it all on Dogecoin. It's worth 1/1000th of a cent. And then you look back a year later and it's worth 4.5 billion. There are a couple of people there. There are a couple of people that did something like that. They're absolutely loaded. There's a video that I saw. I don't know if you've watched. I'm kind of on like a financial kick for some reason. What's it? Graham Stephan? Is that his name? Graham Stephan on YouTube. Big financial channel. I think a while ago he had a video where he sat down with a guy that like took out like, I think it was like $50,000 in loans and just put it all into Dogecoin. And sure enough, Dogecoin went up and he made like $2.5 million. Or the portfolio was worth like $2.5 million, maybe even more. And they sat down, and he was just like a normal guy, like you and me. And he had a bunch of money in there. And he's like, no, I don't want to take it out. It's going to keep going up. It's going to keep going up. It's going to keep going up. And I said, dude, like if you take it, it doesn't matter if it keeps going up. If you take it out right now, you will, like, you can put it into a retirement account and you can live off of the interest. Like, you will not have to work for the rest of your life. And they did a whole episode on it, like 45 minutes. And at the end of it, he said no. He said, no, I want to hold on to it. I want it to keep going up. I could retire on this right now, but I know it's going to go up. And guess what? It went down. It went down by a lot. So now, I mean, it's still, I mean, he's not stuck having to pay back the loan. You know, I think it's still worth like $500K. That's awesome, right? Like, that guy's really lucky to take out a loan like that, take a gamble, and be able to pay it off. You know, that's not role model behavior, but it's nice when it works out. But he can't retire now. Can't retire off of that. That would be way worse. It's one thing to say this guy in high school absolutely threw me a bone and said that if I didn't put money into something that I would hate myself. And it's another thing if I put money into it. Say it was Dogecoin, for example. Let's say not Bitcoin. It was like Dogecoin. And I was in that other guy's shoes. Woo-wee. Woo-wee. I would hate myself then, too. Oh, my goodness. I would absolutely hate myself then, let me tell you that. With all that being said, it's time for food. Then yeah, this is just a massive pile of food. For you new people that managed to stick around this long, no, I'm no financial guy. I'm not here giving you any advice. I'm more here just to tell stories and document what I do every single day. Because there are people like me that just eat the same meal every single day, even though they live an extremely busy life. I need to clean the freaking kitchen. It is gross. It is gross. I've been cooking the same meal too many days in a row without cleaning the kitchen. So let's get this going. Don't click off just yet. We're going to do the weighing. We're going to do the weighing. That's one of the reasons why I don't like doing these non-traditional videos. This is a traditional video that we're going. Well, as soon as we bring the crock pot out, it's going to be really hard to weigh our food. You know, I don't pride myself on having 3 pounds of curry waiting for me. That's going to be an absolute disaster. I think I got to pace myself a little bit with that. So let's see what we got going on here. Let's see what we got. We zeroed ourselves out because we're not going to weigh the bowl. Now we're going to put the bowl on here. And let's check this out. 2.76, 2.75, 2.76 if you round up pounds of food. And this is going to be our dinner for the evening, which is awesome. So I appreciate all of you watching like you always do. You make it all worth it. We're going to 1,000 subscribers, baby. 1,000 subscribers to the moon, or whatever the crypto people say. So I appreciate all of you watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Indian curry. Okay, bye. Yep, tomorrow.